What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Full 90. Today it is time for the Week 37 Premier League predictions. Please do drop a like and subscribe because we are well on the way to 25,000 subscribers this year, the World Cup year. I want to give a massive shout out to the brand new members, the TF90 Super Tipsters. You can see them on your screen there. We have Don Man, Black Mamba, SK Soria, Prosper Oshunuga, and X Black A White. Thank you so much for joining the channel. You can do that by clicking the join button down below or clicking the first link in the description. And we did have back-to-back accumulator wins for the members. So as well as the winner last weekend, we've had two more this week, all with the Premier League action. We had a Liverpool and Barcelona an over 2.5 double, and then we had the Premier League favourites City -1, Leicester, Liverpool, and Chelsea as well, all to win. So if you do want to join, get exclusive tips, and just support that channel a little bit further, and you get a little badge next to your name, then like I said, click the join button down below. I also want to give a shout out to Manish Thaper. Once again, they left their predictions on the previous video and had a pretty good run. There was no one in the comments that predicted every result because for some reason, everyone that got the Watford-Everton draw correct decided to predict that Wolves would get something from Manchester City, which I thought was absolutely crazy. But Manish Thaper had a pretty good run, 5 out of 6 correct result predictions, and I'm pretty sure we also got the same. We had Liverpool to win and both teams to score, Chelsea to win and over 2.5 goals, Leicester to win to 0. We had Everton to win, which didn't happen, City to win and over 2.5 goals, and Tottenham to win. In fact, watch this clip of basically my summary of the Tottenham-Arsenal game in the North London derby. I think it's going to be a feisty affair. I think you can back yourself to see cards in this game, perhaps a penalty in the match. I think Harry Kane is more or less guaranteed to score. I think Heung-min Son is going to have another great game. So I do think Tottenham are going to win this one. I can put my bias aside when predicting Arsenal games. Genuinely, I can. And there wasn't really a chance in my head that Arsenal were going to go away to Tottenham and win. It just didn't look good. But anyway, with that all out the way, it's time for the Week 37 Premier League predictions. And more so than many other weeks, I think there's a lot of value. Now, every week I don't just go for basically for easy tips like value of 1.4, 1.3 to guarantee a high success rate. Speaking of high success rate, we did have another week of exclusive tips with 70% hit rate, which I thought was really good. Again, that's a great ratio for the members, so I hope you got on that. But not only is the value very good this weekend, I also think it's slightly skewed. I think it's more likely to happen than a lot of the bookies are suggesting. So let's get straight into that. We have Tottenham versus Burnley. Tottenham are going to absolutely wipe the floor with Burnley. They just are. They're going to win 2-0. I'm going to go for a 3-0 win to Tottenham, and my tip is Tottenham -1 at 1.9. In case Burnley do get a goal, I think Tottenham score 3. Son is gunning for the golden boot. You could see how frustrated he was at being taken off against Arsenal. Ideally, I think rested for this Burnley fixture. Tottenham are going to win comfortably. It's just a step too far for Burnley, in my opinion, this one. So we're going to move on to Aston Villa up against Crystal Palace. Two teams that seemingly have nothing to play for. Aston Villa, they've secured the signature of Philippe Coutinho, which I think is fantastic for them. I actually am surprised at how favourite Aston Villa are in this fixture. I think Palace have looked good this season. I think they can score goals. And I'm actually going to go for a win to Crystal Palace. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Crystal Palace. And my tip is Palace double chance at 1.72. So just Aston Villa not to win. And I don't think they will. Obviously, they might surprise you. They managed to beat Burnley when I wasn't expecting it. But I think Palace have just looked good this season. And I know Palace's record at Villa Park isn't great recently, but something just tells me Palace are going to play well here, and I could easily see this being a draw. So Palace double chance at 1.72 looked like value that I just couldn't look past. Now, speaking of value, we have Leeds, now relegation favourites along with Watford and Norwich, against Brighton. Brighton have been looking brilliant these last few weeks. They finally, it feels like, been getting the points they deserve, the output that they deserve, and they're all playing well. And Leeds are just all over the place. Discipline is lacking. The belief is lacking. The injury list is long. So I'm going to go for a Brighton win here. I'll give Leeds a goal because they have to score, but it wouldn't surprise me if they didn't score. So I'm actually going to go for a 3-1 win to Brighton. Look at every video I've made on this channel. That is, without a doubt, the most conclusive Brighton victory I've ever given. But I'm going to go for a 3-1 win to Brighton. I actually have 2 tips for this one because, again, I just think the value is too good. Brighton draw no bet at 1.83. I don't see Leeds winning this, so it feels like a free hit. You get at least your money back if they do draw. But in case it is like a 2-2 or even a 3-2 win to Leeds, Brighton over 1.5 goals at 2.2 looks unreal. I mean, Brighton have been scoring goals for fun lately. It's not typical of Brighton this entire season, but recently they've been scoring loads of goals. They scored loads against Wolves. They scored loads against Manchester United, and I could see them scoring at least twice against this terrible Leeds defense. So there's a lot of value to be had there. The value doesn't stop here, folks. Coming up, we have Watford up against Leicester. I think Leicester are going to absolutely trounce Watford. Leicester getting a 4-0 win against Norwich, and they're way less favourite, according to the bookies, in this fixture. And to be honest, I have no idea why. So I'm going to go for a 3-0 win to Leicester, and my tip is Leicester to win at 2.05. For the value that I would expect Leicester to beat Watford away at maybe 1.7, 1.8 at a push, but 2.05... crazy value. I've gone a step further as well. Another tip, Leicester -1 at 3.5. I think that's crazy. Leicester to win just 2-0 against a woeful Watford side, 3.5. Sign me up. So I think Leicester are going to beat Watford here. As you can tell, I'm pretty gassed with the value we've got in this game week's fixtures. Now, speaking of value, we have West Ham up against Manchester City. Immediately, I looked at this and thought Man City winning both teams to score. So that is going to be my tip. City to win in both teams to score at 2.87. If they win this game, they win the league. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. But West Ham, they've scored in every home league game this season. And they score frequently against Manchester City. And they beat them recently 3-2 as well. So I do think West Ham are going to score. They'll try and have a say in how the Premier League title race turns out, but City are too good. They have defensive issues in terms of absentees. I think Ruben Diaz might be out for the rest of the season. Kyle Walker, obviously he's out as well. It looks like their central defensive pair, I mean, Nathan Ake will be there, and they might have to make a makeshift. I think Fernandinho might have to fill in. They're still going to be good enough to get the job done, but I could definitely see West Ham scoring. So I'm going to go for a 3-1 win to City, and then Man City to win and both teams to score at 2.87. Again, more or less nailed on, genuinely. And it's not often I'm that confident about a win and both teams to score result, but I'm very confident here. After that, it is Wolverhampton Wanderers up against Norwich. Now, although it's unlikely that Wolves can push for European football, stranger things have happened. They could win here and beat Liverpool on the last day, and there you go. So they're not going to slip up against Norwich. Norwich are awful. They're not going to score. Wolves are going to win this one. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Wolves. My tip is Wolves to win and under 3.5 goals at 2.1. But you could also look at Wolves win to 0 at 2.25. I also looked at Wolves -1 handicap at 2.2. They're all very similar odds, right? So they're all around 2.1, 2.2. So it could be to 0, -1, under 3.5. If you see Norwich getting absolutely obliterated, then go for the -1 handicap as opposed to the unders. But I think this will be fairly straightforward for Wolves. Norwich are just terrible. And again, there's just pure value. Now, after that, we travel back to Goodison Park. Everton up against Brentford. Everton, more or less safe now, you would expect, with how poor Leeds have been, and Burnley as well to an extent. But Brentford have been looking good, and I think they can get a goal here. I think Everton will score, and I could see this being a draw. I wasn't quite brave enough to tip the draw, but I'm going to go for a 1-1 between the two teams, and my tip is both teams to score at 1.8. Neither team will be afraid of the other, and I think that lends itself to goals. And I think Brentford will play freely, and I think Everton, the desire, if they can get a point, that would be great for them. So I'm going to go for that draw and both teams to score. Now, after that, massive game. It is Newcastle up against Arsenal. I do think Arsenal are going to win this one. I know Newcastle have had a great end to the season. They've had a brilliant calendar year. But Arsenal have beaten Newcastle 16-0 on aggregate since the start of 2019. 2018 was the last time Arsenal conceded a goal against Newcastle. They've won 0 in all of their last 5 meetings. It might be 6. So they've got Newcastle's number. Home and away, Newcastle just struggle against Arsenal. And Arsenal have never needed it more to beat Newcastle, because Tottenham are right behind them. They will beat Burnley. So by the time this is kicking off, Arsenal will be out of the top 4. So they need to win. I'm going to give Newcastle a goal, because Arsenal have been shaky in defense, really, and they've been rash. I think Newcastle can score, but I'm just going to give Arsenal a 2-1 away win. Like they beat Leeds 2-1, they beat West Ham 2-1. I could see a very similar thing happening here. Rob Holding's out due to suspension, which I'm happy with, to be honest, because I don't really rate him. So yeah, I'm happy for that. I think Arsenal are going to win. My tip is Arsenal to win at 1.83. a great record against Newcastle. They want it more. They need it more. They're a better team. Let's not forget that. I know it's not biased because I'm wearing this shirt. They should win. And the final fixture, it's going to be Southampton up against Liverpool. I do think Man City will beat West Ham, and I'm pretty sure that's the title over, because even if Liverpool then win their last game and City lose their last game, City win on goal difference, I'm pretty sure. So I do think Liverpool are going to win this one still, and maybe there will be an upset between West Ham and City, but all the more reason to play into this tip. I'm going to go for a 3-1 win to Liverpool. I'm not going to go Liverpool and both teams to score like I did with City. I'm going to go with Liverpool and over 2.5 goals at 1.86, just in case it ends 3 or 4-0. Southampton are the kind of team to randomly lose 5-0. I mean, they lost 6-0 to Chelsea. They've lost 9-0 a couple of times in recent years against, I believe, Leicester and Manchester United. So you never know what could happen with Southampton. Southampton is traditionally the feeder club for Liverpool anyway. Liverpool are better. They're going to win. So as you guys can see, there's a lot of value to be had this week. So take 1 or 2 here and there. Let's make an ACCA, shall we? For everyone watching. Tottenham -1 at 1.9. Leicester to win at 2.05. And then chuck in Wolves to win at about 1.5. And you've got a lovely little ACCA there of probably about 5-1. So there you go. That is going to do it for the Week 37 Premier League predictions. If you did enjoy it, please do drop a like, subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. If you want to see exclusive members-only tips, we do about 20 to 30 exclusive tips from all leagues around Europe every weekend. You can check that out, and also you get the exclusive accumulators as well. So that is going to do it from me, and I'll see you in the next video, which I believe will be a Europa League final prediction. So I'll see you in that video very soon.